All right, it's a little bit foggier than I would like, especially last night. Super fancy, well, okay, not super fancy, but pretty fancy, like hotel, restaurant, and it's supposed to look over the ocean, right? The sunset at 8:30 on the west coast. Nothing, just straight up clouds. But that's all right. The food was still good, so I had a big ass steak. I didn't finish my entire serving of mashed potatoes, but I definitely had some. So I think I'm a little extra carbed up. I think yesterday was like 3,600 calories, whereas my baseline has been like 28-ish. So I'm coming in a little extra full, potentially a little extra strong. I should have brought my scale, and then I would actually know how much heavier I am. Because after any day where you kind of just up your food, usually that results in a rebound, or not a rebound, but just a weight spike, be it carbs, water, whatever. And on a single day basis, that weight is not permanent. That weight is not really anything substantial. If I pulled up into this freaking Chevron right in front of me, grabbed, 600 grams of carbs worth of whatever, a sweet of your choice, plus half a gallon of chocolate milk. Haven't slammed that for a while. Ate the whole thing across the, just gradually kind of throughout the day. Huge surplus of carbs. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow 5 pounds heavier. 6-7 pounds heavier. Who's to say? But that's not body fat. That's not muscle for sure. Not in one day. That's just a fluctuation of how much carbs and water you're holding. Now, one day, as I'm saying, that's cool, right? If I go back to my regular deficit and cardio, all of that extra glycogen and carbs and water will kind of get back to regular baseline. So I guess what I'm saying is, don't be so freaked on a day-by-day basis. There's a little bit of controversy right now on, hopefully you're not on TikTok. I'm an addict, and I just keep scrolling on it, and I can't muster myself to delete it. But there's a couple guys where they're kind of going back and forth between like this idea, and it's like, oh, dude, you're not even a pro. Like this is what a guy is saying. He's saying, you guys are actually just pretty casual. Why are you going so hard? Like, why are you skipping out on the idea is, why are you maybe sacrificing some social life for the gym if you're not a full-fledged professional bodybuilder, or something like that? And, there is a little bit of a point to that, right? It's not like whenever I say, what do you want to do tonight? Do you want to go out, drink, wake up fucked up, or do you want to go get a pump? That's not a rhetorical question, because there is a gradient. I'm not saying that you have to do absolutely nothing except for the gym and being totally locked in. But, I think the real answer is kind of a little bit of an in-between, right? Because, back when I was a 160-pounder, there's a picture of me in the kitchen. I'm eating a big-ass cup of, 12 egg whites with nothing. Like, that was it, So was I a poser in the beginning? Was I treating the gym too seriously for what level at the gym I was at? Right? Maybe some people would say that, but I don't think that's a problem. The harder you go, the better. The more effort, the better. So it's not necessarily where you are currently, it's where you're headed, right? So if you want to get legit results, you want to be, a serious freaking squatter, getting awesome pumps, I'm talking bulk up for a while, shred down, just be built in any way. I'm not saying 260 pounds built. 180 built is solid. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. But if that's the end goal, if that's on the horizon, well, it's like, why wouldn't you want to bring it? If anything, oh, excuse me. I've been sniffling so bad from all my allergies, and it keeps giving me a cough. Holy crap. But, oh, fuck. Oh, goodness. Well, all I'm saying is take it seriously, but there is room for some fluctuation. You know, if I pulled up to grandma's house and she just baked a Thanksgiving pie, but I'm dieting and I'm locking in for my show, I'm still gonna have some. I'm gonna count the calories and be responsible and think, all right, how many carbs did I really just eat? And let's be real, probably 200 grams. All right, how many grams of fats? And let's be real, probably 80 or something. Track that into my macro tracker, and then just keep an accounting. So it's kind of a twofold look. Like, you want to be locked in, and you should be locked in, of course, but there is room to deviate. So take that however you want. Don't let anybody tell you you're going too hard. That makes absolutely zero sense to me. So I'm gonna go in. I got arms today. I would have had arms tomorrow. Back was scheduled for today because normally I'm going chest, back, legs, chest, back, arms. But this is potentially the last workout here, and I'd rather do an arm day. Back has got to be the most consistent pump that you can get at any gym, because unless this gym had like really crazy specific equipment, back is back. I mean, what are we really doing? Rows, pull downs, cable pullovers, maybe an old school like Dorian Yates pullover machine if a gym has one. But unless it has a really outlier piece of equipment, back is kind of the same everywhere. I'm probably the least picky about what gym I'm going to if back is on the agenda, just because it's so basic, and that's a good thing. For me, that tells me back is a very consistent lift. No need to stress about it or anything. Like, oh, am I going to have the right piece of equipment? Like, if you gave me just a pull-up bar, I'd still get a badass back workout. Now, how good are my... you give me a pull-up bar and you give me a band to do assisted pull-ups as I get more fatigued, then I'll really be solid. But, yeah, I'd rather hit arms here, just because arms is cool. I like to think I'm unbiased. I think I do try to give every muscle group an equal amount of love and appreciation, because then you'll end up hitting them all equally hard. But I think I do have a little bit of a preference, at least when it comes to an end of lift pose down scenario. Chest pump, I think that's got to be top tier. Just blood's flowing everywhere. Your shoulders are a little bit pumped up just from how much of a stabilizer they have to be for your heavy pressing. Your triceps got a little bit of work. Unless you're like a total guru, it's hard not to get your triceps involved when you're doing chest. Your biceps are going to get a little bit of pumped if you're doing any kind of cable fly or pec deck or... This guy's crazy. So, a chest pump, you're just freaking inflated, not from head to toe, but from head to torso. Solid. Arms, also cool. Your arms just freaking hang off yourself like chunks of meat. Speaking of that, I just watched, I just watched Blade, with the original Blade for the first time. That was pretty good. But yeah, chest and arms, those are probably my favorite. Just because the pose down is so freaky. But don't let that fool you. I'm still hitting every other lift with just as much oomph. But Friday morning, what do you think? Are people slacking, or is it going to be jumping in here? I guess we will find out in exactly 1 freaking minute. So let me park this thing. Yeah, I don't know. So this is just a rental because I'm on a trip. But if you have a Chevy Equinox, I don't know about this shifter, man. But whatever. Let's get started. All right. I'm feeling good now. Okay. 2 more of those. I'm gonna do a 3-3-2-2 style. I'll explain. All right, 1 more. Actually, no, 2 more. What am I saying? Okay. Oh shit, 1 more. Then I'll do a curl. So 3 push downs, 3 curls, 2 push downs, 2 curls, 1-1. Superset, then done.
Like, you know, the kick up, getting it back, and then the retweaking and something like that.
Yeah, I'll get that. It's been a little while. If I go too heavy too often, if I do a really heavy back day, I'll start to feel it in here. Because now I'm using my forearms instead of like just my back like I should. And then, like I've had it where even unracking 1 plate on incline,
Okay.
like it was just a pinched nerve or something. Like it made me want to like drop it. So I had to stop doing like free press for like a couple months.
Really?
So I just did cable and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. But it's like, doesn't that suck? A forearm thing means you can't bench.
I know. It's
I guess that's cool.
sucks.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, let's grab some dumbbells now. All right. Let's pick a better song for this one. But the 70s, let's just say they're asking for trouble. Okay, shit. Oh my god. Whew. Okay. I don't know if I can do 70 again. Maybe do the 60s for the next one. That was good though.
Okay. All right. Now we'll do one with the 60s. Oh, I'm not done. Okay. Oh shit, that's all I got. Okay. Back to triceps. How about the squeeze with this one? The full stack with with a straight bar, let's just say very doable. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh shit. One more of those. I think I'll do 5 quick, 5 hold, repeat like that. Oh, I should overestimate my strength on that one. Let's hit a preacher. Let's hit the 110-pound easy bar. Drop sets to 70. And see what freaking happens. There. All right. Okay. Oh, goodness. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, crap. Oh. One more. Okay. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Holy shit. Okay. Back to a push down. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Fine. Let's curl something. All right, there we go. Yeah, make sure we're not shaking. But through the shirt, no arm pose. Just kind of a little bit of a, let's just call it a lat peak. I mean, shit. I'm already feeling quite wide. Yeah, I mean, that's a, you tell me, is that a freaking inverted triangle or what? Let me really try to suck my waist in too. Oh man, that's not nothing. Whoa, but all right. I ended up doing one more set of curls and one more set of push downs just because I needed the camera to charge a little bit. I'm at 13 freaking percent and I didn't want to have to cut the pose down short. Oh, goodness. Oh, okay. All right. Let's roll. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Good pump, good gym, good day. The freaking sun is shining. Hell yeah. Could not ask for anything better. But I am just about ready to get back to all the little critters we got running around the crib. I'm sure they are going to be excited as well. It's I tell you something, stampede is not a bad word to describe what goes down when the I mean, they don't even have to open up a can of treats, or not a can, but like a little plastic tin of treats. You know, all I've got to do is open the pantry in the kitchen and they will scamper over like a freaking herd of, let's say, roaring buffalo. That's a good way to put it. So that's gonna be fun. I'm sure they've all just been sleeping all the time. That's the best part of about the cats. They're kind of, I mean, they're pretty chill, you know? I mean, if you got a freaking 2-bedroom apartment and you don't have a cat, I'm kind of curious, what's your deal, man? You just not a big cat dude or what? Because, I mean, they just hang out, you know? Change the litter box, give them some food, then you're good. You got a little dude running around. I don't, yeah. It's just fun. Check out your local animal shelter. They are just waiting to get some love on them. That's where all our cats are from. Not the same one, kind of all over the place, but yeah, they're great. So that's always fun. Get to kind of just some, I guess, yeah, companion is the right word. They're pretty cuddly. Get a cat. That's my end lift message. But no, that was a really solid workout. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do all buys then all tries, all tries and all buys, back and forth. So instead, just cut it straight down the middle and then kind of do a little bit of each. 3 sets of triceps, 3 sets of buys, 2, 2, 1, 1. And that 1 and 1, that was enough. I did not need to do a superset finisher like I sometimes do. That workout is typically 3 sets of pushdowns, 3 sets of curls, 2 sets of pushdowns, 2 sets of curls, 1 set of pushdowns, 1 set of curls, and then a finisher superset. So that's where you might grab an easy bar, put it on a cable at head height, pick whatever weight you can do for pushdowns, do 10, make them good but not to failure, drop the cable down to ankle height or the floor, 10 curls, same thing, 10 good ones but not failure, run it back, curl, push down, usually 2, maybe 3 of each will do the trick, and then find a mirror ASAP, because your pump is now fleeting. As soon as you finish that last rep of that last set, there's no longer any blood being siphoned into that area. So you got to be quick, right? I mean, I have sometimes I've kind of delayed my last set a little bit if the mirror spot that I really want to jump into is occupied. Back in my college rec center, there was one little spot in the corner. That was it. I don't know what this guy was smoking when he designed the architecture of this building, but he knew what he was doing when he put that little grid light 3 feet away from the mirror in a bit of like a kind of hallway looking enclosure. I mean, I've had some badass pose downs in there. I think I might even want to recreate that lighting setup back in my gym. But it's hard to catch lightning in a bottle, especially twice. So, but if I saw that it was taken, or somebody was doing like an ab workout in there or something, I might wait a minute, then finish my post workout or my finisher pump set, then jump in there. But I was talking to a couple guys in there, and feeder workouts came up. Feeder workouts came up twice. One older dude was telling me he was loving them, and then another guy today said he was a baseball coach. We were kind of getting into it a little bit. So when it comes to a feeder, the idea is you're doing your regular workouts, legs, chest, back, arms, push, pull, legs, whatever, but in addition, at a separate time during the day. So if you did back in the morning, you would do this at night. Or if you did back at night, you would do this in the morning. But sometime, let's say you're doing feeder workouts for your arms. This is straight out of the Rich Piana handbook. You're going to take a really light weight. I'm talking like a 10-pound dumbbell, 15-pound curl, and just do a freaking 100 reps. And then 100 reps the other way. So 100 curls, 100 push downs, or 100 kind of like overhead tricep extensions. Repeat. Lightweight, blood flow, just nutrient dense, whatever, into the area, but not with a ton of tension to kind of bias that additional growth. Now, I tried that. I tried doing some feeders for my arms a few times, but I don't know if I really noticed a huge bump. Now, maybe was I not doing them right? Possibly. But I didn't feel like I wasn't, I mean, I would come in and just hit a really light, like 20 pounds on the cable for push downs. And then same thing for curls, really light, just squeeze and kind of pumpish work. But I think that's getting into the realm of things where I'd kind of describe it as potentially overcomplicated for its own sake, because at the end of the day, I feel like the guys who get the most results, or let's just say the most basic approach, is typically the best. I'd say there's a few rules that are decently agreeable across the board, no matter what kind of lifter you are, which is weird. I mean, how are they, like, you know what I'm saying? But I think across the board, we can all agree, the volume, everything twice a week-ish, right? So if you're doing push-pull legs, and then maybe you do Arnold split for that next loop. So you do push-pull legs, and then chest and back, arms, legs, that kind of combo. Then that's a good frequency, right? Hitting every muscle group twice within a 7-day period. Now I'm doing it twice within an 8-day period because I'm doing legs, chest, back, arms, or in this case, legs, chest, arms, back. But I think that's still right about there. Right? Twice every 8 days instead of twice every 7 days. So I like that frequency for me, but twice a week, we can all pretty much agree there. And then volume, what are you doing for your chest day? or for an arm day, by the time I'm at that 7-ish mark in terms of volume, I think that was 7 today, 7 sets of curls, 7 sets of push downs. I don't know if more is necessary. And obviously, I mean, it's going to depend on how much, well, I guess training experience would be the word, but you know, how much kind of skill and ability to exert yourself you have. Because if somebody's a total beginner and maybe they can't take every set to like total crazy nasty failure, you know, they're just not used to that yet. Well, then maybe that guy needs to do a little bit more volume because he can't take the sets as far as somebody who's been lifting for a long time and, you know, can completely empty the tank of their biceps or their triceps on any given set. So, I mean, it's kind of this balancing act. More intensity, less volume. Less intensity, more volume. But if you're doing straight sets, just about failure, pretty heavy, 7's a good number. I think 7 or 8, you know. So if I'm doing a chest day and it's more than 8 sets, I'd be a little bit surprised. And if it's less than 6, I'd also be surprised. But this is where we're getting, I'd say this is just kind of hard to describe. But when I'm working out, I'm not aiming for a specific volume. You know, when I'm doing this arm day, I'm not thinking, okay, I need to complete 6 sets of triceps. I need to do 7 sets of biceps. That's not the point. That is what happens, but the overarching point is I want to reach a state of, let's just say, bicep completion, right? I want it to feel a certain way, which I know a good workout feels like, right? Cooked, pumped, fatigued, but not necessarily sore. Like your quads are going to be pumped to shit after a leg day. They're going to be sore after you do like a jog, you know? So I think that's where you might be just hitting it in a different way. Because if I finish 6 sets of curls, I don't think more is going to be better. And it's just because I'm aiming for this sort of feeling of, I know, all right, I'm on my 6th set. I'm getting close to that kind of just fully pumped, burning sort of feeling. All right, let's really kill this one and see if that's enough. And if it is, well, then whoop-de-doo, right? But I'm not going to say that's 100% the best approach, because am I missing out? You know, am I potentially missing out on gains by calling it there where I kind of feel like, okay, I really do think that was a good workout. I'm fully pumped. I did a substantial amount of heavy work plus light squeezing stuff. I think that was good, you know, and then I can base that off of my historic data of like, okay, have I been growing from these workouts? And when I'm gaining weight, and I am, well then, you know, that's just kind of some more confirmation. But, you know, I would never say that that's totally the end game volume and approach for me, you know, because I don't freaking adapt. Over time, you want to be a different lifter. If you're the same dude now as you were a year ago, what the hell did you do that year? You know, are you not any more skilled or any more capable of really exerting yourself in the gym? Or are you not a little bit more locked in? Because if you're not, I mean, there's a million guys out there, you know, I really hate to say it, it's just an unfortunate reality where they just, you know, they come into the gym, they go through the motions, and that's all. That's the end of it. Now, if someone just wants to, you know, maintain a decent build and stay reasonably fit, then solid. Obviously, that's nothing to hate on. You know, not everybody wants to take the gym as freaking, you know, crazy serious. But I'm saying the guys who they have that itch in their mind, they really know, man, I'd probably feel pretty fucking cool if I got peeled this year. Man, I'd probably feel pretty fucking cool if I put on some pounds this year and started moving weight and got bigger and stronger. You know, they know it. In their mind, they want it. But in reality, you know, when the actual difficulty of achieving these things comes into play, that desire gets dwarfed, you know, that internal need, not a need, but that internal want for progress, it just gets smothered by their, you know, real difficulty in actually doing it, right? Everybody feels like a total beast and they want to kill it when they're watching a compilation of Rocky and Creed in Rocky 2 when they're actually no, it's Rocky, is it Rocky 3? Yeah, in is it, oh, man, I don't remember. Yeah, it's Rocky 3, because we all know what happens in Rocky 4. But yeah, right? We all feel like a total beast. We want to run down the fucking beach in short shorts and a tank, you know, because that looks freaking sweet. are you really going to do it? You know, that's where that kind of motivation just, it's fugazi, it's fagoozy, if you know what I'm saying. It's gone. So, you know, that's where I want to hold on to that feeling. When I'm watching a Baki, if you go back, this is like the 90s animation, kind of trash, but it is still pretty good. When you go back and you watch the Grand Tournament arc, or whatever that arc was, I don't remember, and you get that feeling of just, you know, you're listening to a really cool song, you're watching a badass edit of some kind of, you know, a old bodybuilder motivation kind of video or something that just, your blood's pumping. You get that excitement feeling. You know, I don't know if you've ever gotten that before, but for me, if I'm sitting and I gotta, just for whatever reason, I start thinking about the lift later in the day, or I mean, even later tonight, just from thinking about the workout I have tomorrow, you get this kind of just energy that builds up. You're like, man, I want to kill it. You know, you just want to get it. And I want to bottle that. I want to contain that energy and save it for later. I think so many people let that energy disperse into nothingness. And then by the time it actually comes to use it, by the time, you know, your buddy sent you a text, hey man, are we going to hit legs today? Right? The guy who contained that energy and still has it stored up, he's going to say, hell yeah, you were supposed to be here 5 minutes ago. You're late, right? And then the guy who just, I got a thing, man. Sorry, don't want to do it. You know, I hurt my knee a little bit, man. You know, it's just not, I don't know if I got it today. You know, or just a zillion other totally random excuses. You know, so if that doesn't eat at somebody, you know, if actually just kind of, let's just say, slacking on their own personal goals doesn't bother this dude, well, then what are you gonna do? You know, like, it's their life. Let them live it. But if you know you want it, and I mean, let's just keep it simple with the gym, but this could be anything. But if you know you want to get after it, that should give you this, maybe not anxiousness, let's say antsiness. That feeling should give you like a little bit of, man, what am I doing? You know? Like if I had a whole day, I mean, this wouldn't happen, I guess, but if I had a day where nothing was stopping me, I should be going to the gym. You know, I should be getting a pump and doing my cardio and sticking to my calories. I want to get lean this summer, or leaner. I want to stay lean for a while. Well, I'm not going to go eat a bunch of shit. And if I did, and then I didn't train, I totally slacked off and said, I just want to chill today. Oh, I mean, I feel weird even inserting myself in that hypothetical because it just wouldn't fucking happen. But, you know, imagine somebody like that. Right? It's right there. And I think across the board, everybody's innate desire is probably pretty balanced. You know, everybody's just kind of like latent, yeah, I wouldn't mind being in shape, or I wouldn't mind getting a little stronger, getting a little more serious. I think that's even, you know, I think that's pretty even across the board. Everybody gets the same enjoyment, I think, on like a dopaminergic level from all sorts of stuff. You know, no matter how old or skilled or whatever they are, like that feeling is the same. But I think what really changes is the ability to actually act, you know, to make some shit happen. Because in our mind, I mean, you can imagine whatever the hell you want. Like I can think to myself, man, I'm gonna get peeled. Oh, it's gonna be sweet. Dude, I'm gonna be fucking shredded. But that's just in my head. I don't have to do anything to get that freaking imagination. And when you imagine that, you know, you kind of, some people might think about it like manifestation, but if you just sit and you keep like hyping yourself up on like, oh man, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make this shit happen. You know, think it all you want, right? At some point you gotta actually make it happen. So that's where if you want to separate yourself from the herd in that sense, you know, shit, we all want it. You just gotta do it. And so many people are slacking so hard, it is not hard to climb the ranks. You know, I mean, what's the percentage of people that even work out in general? Not that, you know, everybody wants to, but, you know, it's pretty small. So you start showing up for your cardio, shit, man, people are going to start asking you for tips. They're going to say, hey, what should I be doing for my, you know, this, that, or the other? You look like you know what you're talking about. Right? That's a good feeling. But arms complete, cardio complete. I'm ready to eat a little something. And then I want to get into the ocean today. But I think it's freaking cold in there. I think it's like 60 degrees. That's not much warmer than like a conventional ice bath. You know, I think ice baths are kind of recommended at like 55, 50. So, yeah, man, it's frozen. But there's a boogie board in the garage, and I'm gonna bust out the boogie board. We'll see what happens. But either way, I think I'll see you back in Ohio. So, see you tomorrow.